Welcome everyone to the Fire Sports Pod. I'm your host Zach Jackson. We got a fire show on for you today. I want to be talking about the Lakers and their chances to win the chip this year. As you guys can see, I got the Lakers LeBron James jersey on right now. We play tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. You guys should tune into that game. It's going to be a fantastic game tonight. I know I've been going over some bets and stuff like that on my TikTok at the Fire Sports Pod. You guys should go check that out. And see my bets for these upcoming games that we have. But to get back on track with the Lakers game, the Lakers right now are down 0-1 to the Denver Nuggets, which is, to my surprise, a little bit surprising, but not so much because Denver is the number one seed in the West, and they do have a lot going for them. They got the reigning two-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, and he is a monster. He just had a 35-point triple-double with 35 points. I believe it was 13 rebounds and 12 assists. That is remarkable. And they only won by 6. They were up as much as 21 points entering the second quarter, I believe. And with entering the fourth quarter, we were only down by 14. But with that team, it looked like it was impossible to come back. But LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves came alive. And we actually cut it to 3 with about a minute 12 left in the game. But sadly, LeBron James tried to tie the game up, but instead he missed the three-pointer to tie the game, and I don't understand why, because Jamal Murray had 5 fouls, and to be honest, I think that is ridiculous how you do not take it to the hole when you're almost 260 pounds of pure muscle, and at 6'8", and Jamal Murray is like 6'4" with 5 fouls. So I don't understand what LeBron was thinking, but again, we move on. We're on to Game 2 tonight. I do think it's going to be a much closer game to start. I think we're actually going to start out firing on all cylinders. The way we started in Game 1, we came out flat, and that's why we were down by 21. And if we just decide to play a little bit in the first half, I don't think we lose this game. And to be honest, it was a valiant effort from the Lakers, but we didn't really deserve to win that game because we played one good half and one horrible half. We need to play 2 great halves for us to deserve a win, in my book. But that's just me and my thinking on it. I want to see your guys' thoughts. So comment below what you guys think on the Lakers' chances to winning the championship and who they will face in the finals. Now, off of that, I do believe that the Lakers will win in 6, even though they dropped Game 1. I don't think the Nuggets are going to do really anything else. I think we kind of figured them out. But then again, they do have the reigning 2-time MVP, like I said, in Jokic. They do have Jamal Murray, and if Jamal Murray plays again like he did on Game 1, which he had 31 points, that sounds a lot like the Jamal Murray from the bubble in 2020. But then again, he's been hurt for a long time. He was questionable Game 1 with an illness, so we were even on the fence if he was going to play. But he did, and he killed us. 31, and he had 35-point triple-double from Jokic. I mean, it's very hard to come back from that type of point differential when it comes to the stars. But AD did play fantastic. AD had 40 points. He didn't get as much rebounds, and I think the reason why we did lose that game is we didn't have enough rebounds, defensive and offensive rebounds. We got killed on the glass. And to be honest, I think Darvin Ham, our head coach of the Lakers, did a great job in adjusting in the second half by putting Rui Hachimura in as another 6'7" guy. He's big, he's strong. He can bump Jokic a little bit and kind of get him off his spot. They even quoted him that he was going to get lower into his knees, like knee to knee, to just get him upright and basically make it hard for him to step and move to make a shot. But I think that's a great move, and I'm hoping, and I do believe that they will start Rui Hachimura in the starting lineup. I think it should be Austin Reeves. I think it's D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James. That should be the starting 5. Schroeder's going to come off the bench instead of starting. I don't think if you don't start D'Angelo Russell, I think he's just going to check out the whole time. I think you have to start him. That's a must. Dennis Schroeder is used to coming off the bench. He'll be fine with it. And we just need that defense on Jokic. But all in all, I do agree with Darvin Ham's adjustment in the second half. I think it really helped us. As you can see, we only lost by 6 with us being down by 14 and us being down by 11 with 5 minutes to go. We really stepped up and played some defense. But if we would have started how we ended, this would have much been a different story. We'd be talking about the Lakers being up 1-0, trying to go up 2-0, going back to Crypto.com Arena. But then again, I think the Lakers are winning this in 6, like I said before. I think LeBron and AD are gonna have a great series, and I think Austin Reeves is gonna do what he has to do. But again, let's move on to the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics series. Now, this series is a little funny. I do have the Heat winning in 7, but again, I don't know, because even though the Heat won Game 1, I think Boston played pretty bad. They didn't play well on defense. Offensively, they were on and off like Boston usually is. I mean, in the 76ers series, they were having a great game. Tatum dropped 51. They win in Game 7. The previous game, he has 16, but he was 0 for 6 and 0 for 10 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3 until the fourth quarter, where he had 16 points and went 4 of 7. So, I mean, again, they got lucky in that Game 6 win. And then Game 7, they just obliterated the 76ers. But as I said, I thought Philly was going to win that game and move on to versus Miami. But to be honest, I think it's a much better series with Miami and the Celtics. I do think that the Celtics will lose this series. I think it's going to be the rematch of the bubble 2020 championship with the Lakers and the Heat. The only thing that scares me about the Heat versus any other team right now, the Celtics or the Lakers, either they get past the Celtics and face the Lakers, or they lose, is they don't have Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is a big loss. They got it all the way here without him. I don't know how. He's their best three-point shooter and most consistent, and you can really rely on him to get a bucket when you need it the most. So for him to be out, they really need that. I mean, it didn't show in Game 1, but as the series goes on, I'm going to be very shocked if Miami does win them comfortably in the next game. I think Celtics will take the next dub. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics win in 5, and this is the only win that the Heat get. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami pushes it to 7. But I don't think Miami's doing anything crazy, winning in 5 games or 6 games. I think it's either Celtics win in 5 or Miami wins in 7. That's my take on the Heat and the Celtics and where the Lakers and the Nuggets will be. And again, I think it's going to be Heat, Lakers for the NBA title, and I think the Lakers will take that. And I think pretty comfortably. I think we just got the size, we got the grit, we got the want, we got LeBron, the king, and we got Anthony Davis that is itching for another title. Even though in the beginning of the season didn't really seem like that, he's really came into his own, and he's playing like the Anthony Davis from 2020. And if he can play like he did Game 1, no one's stopping us. I'm telling you that. We're winning by 20 tonight if AD plays the way he plays. And if LeBron James can add with that, I think there's no doubt in my mind that the Lakers are going to the finals and will beat whoever they play. I personally would hope that it might be Boston, because I really want to see Boston versus Lakers series, LeBron versus Jason Tatum, and want to see the two best franchises in the NBA and the most winningest franchises in the NBA with Boston and the Lakers. So, we're going to come back on the show. I got a special guest coming from you today. I'll see you guys in a bit. What's up, guys? I'm back. I'm here with my co-host, Billy. We're going to be talking about how the NFC East is going to look this year. I mean, Billy, this NFC East team, man, these teams always suck. Yeah. But now, last year was the first year that they all were good. I mean, to a point. But, I mean, at least top 3 teams, I mean, they were all competitive. Washington was competitive. The Giants were competitive. I mean, they made it to the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys were competitive. Your Giants were good. I mean, the Eagles, they went into the Super Bowl. Yeah. We both hate them, but again, we got to give them props, right? Got to give them props. But what are your thoughts on like your team, your Giants?
I'm a big Giants guy. Right behind us, we have a signed ball by Odell Beckham Jr. So, you know, back from his heyday with the Giants. But no, I'm excited. I mean, the Giants, they had a great draft class this year. And I think they're going to show up again this season and hopefully make the playoffs and go on a little run. And they got such a great division, so it's going to be tough, but we'll see. Every team's pretty strong.
I agree. Even though I'm a Cowboys fan, I do think that they're going to be pretty good. I mean, I got to say that I don't think they're going to be that good.
We'll see about that.
But we'll see. Like, as always, he's going to say Giants are going to be better, and the Cowboys, for me, are going to be better. But, hey, we'll see. We are months away from that. But it's coming soon. I mean, draft just ended. I did talk about my last video how the draft quarterbacks were, the rookie quarterbacks are going to come in, how they're going to affect the team. We did talk about some about the Cowboys. So, I mean, the Giants are going to be good. I just think that right now it's 3 teams. I think it's Eagles, even though we both hate them. I think Eagles are number 1. I got Cowboys number 2.
Of course you do.
But I got Giants. I'm doing record-wise from last year.
Okay.
So we don't know what's this year. I mean, I would say that if you had Saquon officially, got to get him signed for a contract. I mean, that's your guy. I mean, without him, I don't know where the train's going. I think the train's going down the tubes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do. I really think that the train's going down the
We'll
tubes.
see.
But then again, who knows? But I think Saquon is your running force. But again, like I said, I think the Cowboys are going to be well. I think we did pretty well. They gave us a pretty bad draft grade. I mean, we got a C- for it. But then again, they didn't. That was just off the draft. I mean, we got a lot of good assets from the trade deadline and the free agency. I mean, I think we did well. I got Gilmore. We got some linebackers. We picked up Brandon Cooks, which he's under the radar, but man is 1,000 yards, been 1,000 yards his entire career almost. I think he's missed like 2 years and not been a 1,000-yard receiver. And that's going to be really open up the field for Dak and finally maybe get his head out of his behind and literally make some good throws and stop throwing the interceptions. Like, I just don't understand, Billy, how a quarterback can miss 5 games in a season, come back and tie Josh Allen with 13 picks in the season. How is that possible?
I don't know. That's sports for you, football. I mean,
it's also the
crazy
Cowboys.
Game. It's the Cowboys, right? So I don't know, man. Are you confident in him?
I see there's people that are riding off the train. My father is one of them. He wants a Super Bowl. He wants it. He's been waiting for 27 years now since we last won, which was in 1995-1996 season. So it's been a long time since we won something. I mean, it's been over like 27, 28 years. Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I've been alive and we haven't really made anything. I think we won like 3 playoff games.
Right.
That is bad. I mean, it's not like the Giants won a Super Bowl in 2010. I mean, they've won it. And yeah, the Giants want to talk, we have 2 Super Bowls in our lifetime, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. But again, will you get a Super Bowl anytime soon? I don't know. I like Danny Dimes. But then again, we've seen in the past, he's not that reliable in the biggest games. Now, I can't say against the Vikings. The Vikings, he played phenomenal. Saquon played good. They beat the Vikings, and then they got trampled by the Eagles. But everybody else got trampled by the Eagles. To be honest, except for the only team that's really left that can compete with them is the Cowboys.
Right.
I mean, game 1, we didn't have Dak. We played with Cooper Rush. They had Jalen Hurts and everybody. And we literally lost by 9, but it was closer than that. I mean, Cooper Rush has 1 more second to throw the ball without Graham knocking him to freaking Timbuktu. I mean, that's a touchdown. We're down by 2 with 4 minutes left. I'm confident that our defense will make that stop. We get the ball back, go down the field, kick a field goal, win the game.
Right.
Talking about a whole different story now. We beat them. They didn't. And then game 2, Christmas Eve. What a game. Christmas Eve, I mean, it was a high-scoring game. 38, I believe it was 38-30. It was a monster game. We won the game. But then again, their excuse, they didn't have Jalen Hurts. But they had their whole team. We didn't have a couple guys we didn't have. I mean, we didn't have Tyron Smith back yet. That's our offensive lineman. I mean, Zeke was a little banged up. And Dak was Dak again. I mean, he started off the game with a pick 6, down 10-0. I mean, can't do that. I mean, he came back, gave a 50-yard bomb to T.Y. Hilton. I mean, it is what it is. Now, that was the past. Now, this year, who knows? I'm confident in Dak Prescott that he will get us there. It is not so much always on him. I'm not taking the blame off him, but I think it's his supporting cast. Gallup did not show up at all in the games that we needed him to show up.
Right.
Crucial games, the Green Bay, we went up by 14, no one showed up. And then Dak decided to throw 2 picks, game over. Jacksonville, high-scoring game, shouldn't even been that. We were up by 14 in that game. They came back, pick 6, overtime. Now, granted, really was it Dak's fault that game? No. But could it have been a better throw? Yes. But again, do I fault him? Not really, because Noah Brown should have caught that. That was in his hands. It's the famous saying, if you touch it, you can catch it. Yeah. And that's always I say to when I'm around my friends and I'm around my brother or anybody, if you touch the football, touch anything, you gotta catch it. Yeah. That's my thing. So it's in your hands. I mean, it's not like a one-handed Odell Beckham catch or these crazy catches we've seen over the years. It was literally two hands. You gotta catch that, especially in that first down games where we kick a field goal, win the game. Yeah. So now, guys, did you guys see Josh Allen and hitting some dingers at the Yankees and Blue Jays games this week, man? He was hitting some dingers, right, Billy?
Man, it's crazy because he showed up for batting practice, and I see some footage of it. But then I look back, and when he got drafted, he was at Yankee Stadium. I'm like, what did this guy all of a sudden put on Blue Jays merch? And now he's all of a sudden switting teams? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, no.
A little bit similar colors.
A little fishy. A little fishy. I don't like it. But what do you think of the Yankees this year? I know we're fellow Yankee fans. What do you think of the Yankees this year? I mean, we started out pretty well, and then we hit a slump, and now we're back on, and then we're a little off. I mean, you know me, I'm a little bit of I get a little too excited when it comes to the Yankees losing a lot. But I mean, we did get off of Judge. I mean, we started off terrible without Judge, and then we picked it up. I mean, we did lose last night in bottom of the 10th inning. I mean, come on. 3-0. I mean, we had the whole game the whole time. But then again, do I blame it on the pitching? No, I think I blame it on the offense. Like, come on, the offense got to get you something. I mean, it was 0-0 to the bottom of the 10th inning. I mean, the pitching is going to go until it's going to go. I mean, we went through everybody, and then it just went. I mean, it was a bad way to lose. Losing on a 3-run homer, especially at Toronto when we are really, I believe we're last place in our division. Yeah. Where we got the Rays that are on a hot streak. I mean, they're a monster. But we took some games from them, so they can be beat. We've shown that they can be beat. Then it's the Red Sox. Then it's the Orioles. No, actually, my bad. Sorry. It's the Orioles. Who would have thought? Then it's the Red Sox. Then it's the Blue Jays. Then it's the Yankees. Who would have thought now we're going to be last place after last year with Judge hitting all these home runs? He did just hit one just a couple minutes before we got on the air. 2-run shot. His 12th home run of the year, and his first of the game. So what do you think? What are your thoughts?
It's an interesting season, but the thing is that you can't get too high and you can't get too low. Yeah. A lot of fans get way too emotional, way too quickly.
I'm one of them.
He's one of them. Yeah, you just got to stay calm and think, okay, we're on we have a little losing streak here. We have, a few injuries here. You can't get down on yourself. It's a long season, 162 games. Yeah. You can go on a 10-game winning streak, man. You could go all of a sudden on this hot streak and you get your guys back from the IL and all of a sudden you're a different team. So right now they're in a spot where they're just trying to get as many wins as possible while guys are beginning to come back from the IL. Of course, a couple here and there go on it. Domingo Germán is now suspended for 10 games.
Yeah, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Not to cut you off for your thing, but what are your thoughts on that?
It's crazy.
But again, this is not the first time. This is like the second or third time he's done this.
He was suspended for the sticky substances on his hands, and obviously MLB has been cracking down on that this year, but it's a tough situation. He put them in a tough spot now because they're without another pitcher for the next 10 games. They cannot bring anybody up from AAA.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
For the next week or so. But it's tough because this is the second time. Earlier this year, with the same umpiring crew, they caught him for having a little bit too much tackiness on his hands there. And they're saying, he thinks it's just rosin, but they're saying something a little bit more stickier than that. So I don't know. He's going to have to really evaluate how he's putting it on. Maybe he sweats a lot, so maybe that's creating more moisture and stickiness and tackiness in his hand. But a lot of other pitchers are dealing with similar stuff, but they have to find a way to not allow that to be an issue on the baseball field, so you put your team in a position like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a solid pitcher, but obviously now they're going to have to reinvent
He was actually
ways.
One of our best pitchers like 2 years ago, and then he got hurt. Then he got suspended. Right. Then he got hurt, and then we got this again. Do we even give him another chance?
I would, yeah, you have to, because he's a...
But what if he does it again?
Well...
The third time's a charm. I think that's 3 strikes, you're out, right? It's like 4, 2, 3, I think you're out.
Yeah.
But hopefully...
It's difficult because the pitchers are so injured on this team where you need those guys to step up. So it's really a difficult situation.
We might take that chance and just keep him just for that.
For sure.
But I do believe... when are we getting Luis Severino, man?
Severino starting this Sunday.
Oh, thank God, man. Let's go.
So it's exciting to have him back. I mean, he's hurt a lot, but...
I mean, if he can become the person we had 3 years ago, right. I mean, Severino, man, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, striking everybody out, big chain going on. I mean, if we could get him back the way we can, and we can get our thing. But, man, my biggest disappointment this year is not the team. It's not everybody, and not even Germán. It's Rodon.
Yeah.
Well, don't. Like,
It's,
come on,
it's
man.
sad. It's crazy, man.
Like, we spent a lot of money to get him over here, and for him to just not even play, he hasn't played a game.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything. He hasn't even warmed up for a game. I mean, I think that was a bad. Like, he's good when he's healthy, but he really hasn't been consistently healthy in years.
Yeah.
And it just keeps on happening, to the point where he might not even, if he don't play, I don't think we're gonna keep. I mean, we gotta keep him, right? What was the deal we had again, Billy?
I believe it might have been 6 years.
Jesus.
It was quite
This
a
is
while.
gonna be an Ellsbury thing, man.
Oh man, that was the worst. Ellsbury was.
Oh
that was
my lordy.
That situation.
Or a
was-
Stanton thing. I mean, we're having that with Stanton. I
Yeah.
mean, the man's big and strong, but I think he's just too big for
Yeah.
the sport. Like Judge, if you see Judge, right? Judge, okay, he's built, but like, I mean, Stanton's calves and hamstrings are the size of my face.
They're so muscular with very little fat, and it doesn't seem like they have much flexibility. So that's a big thing right there.
And especially if he's not DH and they don't take him out, but once they take him out, they got to put a pinch runner in. Now that pinch runner is in for the whole game. So it's not like they can sub him in and out, in and out,
Right,
in and out.
back in little league or high school, you're able
Yeah,
to do that.
exactly, and not have to worry about
Yeah.
that. But now in the majors, I mean, like, you gotta like basically like hold your pick your poison with that. I mean, it maybe in like if it's a game that we've already won, you take him out after he hits.
Right.
But like if it's a close game, we need that bat.
Yeah.
And that's their goal. And what, to be honest, I think what helped actually Volpe was that Stanton going down. They moved LeMahieu down. I think Volpe's position, not to jump off Stanton so quick, but I think Volpe actually came off well after Stanton got injured. Because if you notice, after Stanton and Judge got injured, it really fell on Volpe to do something, and Anthony Rizzo. And you looked at it, Volpe got his stride after Judge and Stanton got hurt, and then now look what Judge is, and look what Volpe is. You got 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's the 1 through 4 lineup without even Stanton is a monster.
Yeah.
Now you add Stanton in there. Oof. But again, can he stay healthy? Last year really wasn't a problem that much. I mean, he was injured 1 or 2, but it was like a quick 2 things. But again, hamstrings are the things that bother you the most, especially as a basketball player as well. Hamstring problems are the ones that irk you the most. That and Achilles. Everything from here up is just the worst injuries on the planet.
Yeah.
Because they just nag and nag
Right.
and nag and nag. It's like a pulled muscle, but a little worse than a pulled muscle. It just keeps nagging. If you don't stop and let it heal, it's just going to keep going. And what happens, I think Stanton comes back too early than he thinks, and basically he just sabotages himself and our team.
I hope not. He's almost ready for game action, they're saying. But what happens when players are injured? When they're injured, it creates opportunities for other players.
Exactly.
And it's nice to see some of these other players from AAA get some work in, guys off the bench. IKF getting some work in.
I mean, IKF just hit out 2 nights ago. Hit a nice dinger pass.
Opposite field home
yeah,
run.
it's a monster.
Jake Bowers, he's been leading off some games and
I like
plays in the
I
middle
like
of the
him a
lineup.
lot.
Hey, these
I like
guys,
him a lot.
these are solid. They're big leaguers. That you give them an opportunity, see what they can do. And it's been working out for them, so it's great to see them have that opportunity and produce, and just give the Yankees another option in case some type of situation doesn't come to fruition for them.
And that's what I think. I think our farm system has got to be the best in the majors, because every time, if you looked at it like a couple years ago, not last year, but the year before, when we had everybody injured from top to bottom, I mean, we were just picking players out of AAA, AA, and it was like, who are these people? Like, I mean, my dad literally looked at the thing. We're like, who are these people? We don't know who the heck anybody is. And we made far. I mean, we lost against Tampa that year, but I mean, we made it farther than anybody would have did. And then we got everybody, and then we just ran into Tampa. And every time we run into either Tampa or Houston. Yeah. And those 2 teams, for some reason, we can't beat. We're starting to beat the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And now we just can't beat Tampa or the
those are 2 great teams.
Houston Astros. Even though they are cheaters. Houston, cannot forget about that. They did cheat us.
I gotta say,
and Boston did too.
Last year though, the Astros, they did it cleanly, and
yeah, exactly. They were a great team.
They have a lot of depth.
Yeah,
a lot of guys. Their manager Dusty Baker is fantastic. So.
I see. That's the one thing I like. I hate the whole team, but I love Dusty.
Yeah.
See, he won't cheat.
He's
a man. He's the old fashioned. I'm sure he's kicking himself with that pitch clock and everything because he likes the old ways. Because that's what they're saying. Analytically, a lot of these guys are getting more of the jobs that are analytically sound, and all the coaches that are analytically sound. But like the old guys, like Dusty Baker and all these guys, they're old school, and not a lot of teams and managers owners want to give that old school.
Right.
And I'm happy that he got a job because I think someone needed him, but I didn't really want Houston.
Right. That's the thing. I love the old school managers. I love the old school methods, but the way the game's moving, you have to surround your manager, if you have an old school manager, with the younger ones who understand analytics more. So that's something that the Mets did right there. They hired Buck Showalter, longtime manager, old school guy, who also understands the new methodology.
Yeah. But not crazy, but not like Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone's all about that analytic, and sometimes it kills me. Right. So I'm like, what are you putting in this? No offense, but what are you putting in this, like, dude off the practice squad, basically? Like, I don't know who this guy is. We got Clay Holmes ready. We got what's the other guy?
Michael King.
Yeah, Michael King. Sonny Peralta. We got all these guys that are known closers and that we know can close out the game. Why put that guy in 2-run homer game? Yeah. Like, come on.
It happened quite a bit this year, especially when starters leave runners on, and then you bring in somebody from the bullpen, even though the starter probably could have gotten out of the jam, and then the relievers give up their runs and they lose the game. Or it becomes a tie game, and then they have to go into extra innings or whatever. But it's happened quite a bit this year, and it's frustrating as a fan to watch. I'm like, man, just let Domingo Germán with 88 pitches finish the inning.
Exactly. Like, what's with this analytic? Oh, he has to be at 88, 90 pitches. Can't go over. Right. Got to take him out. And then you take him out, and then look what happens. Like, I would rather trust Cole, Germán, Severino to get out of the jam than I would trust somebody that is not really warmed up game-wise, just throwing some pitches to the catcher, the backup catcher, whatever. But it's not warmed up game-wise. I'd rather take my chances with them. Now, I mean, if we got bases loaded and no outs, maybe you got to make a change. I mean, if we got a man on first and third with 2 outs, and you got your starter that's getting paid $300 million like Garrett Cole, keep him out there, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not the biggest Garrett Cole fan. I wanted Verlander because I think Verlander's a much better pitcher under pressure. But then again, look what Verlander's doing this year. Not so good. But then again, he's older.
Right.
So he's getting older. I mean, I wanted him but we did get Torres, and we did get we got Torres, and I think we got what was the third baseman? Andujar. Yeah. And it worked out well, but to be honest, I love Torres, but man, I really want Verlander.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of our problems was that one starting pitcher we were missing, that one ace plus another ace. Like, if we paired Verlander with Severino, bro, and then we had and then if we'd kept Verlander now, imagine we would have got Verlander then, and then maybe got money to get Cole. Imagine Cole, Verlander, Severino. Oh, that's like the freaking the triple towers right there, man.
Crazy.
That's like Stanton, Judge, and Rizzo. And we got Verlander, Severino, and Cole on the same. Imagine that. My God, our pitching would be sound. But I still think we're missing that one pitcher.
All right. Well,
I think we're one pitcher.
Rodon's the guy.
I know, but he's always hurt.
You have the whole pitching staff healthy with Cole. You have Germán, and you have Severino and Rodon. Clark Schmidt, maybe put him in the pen.
Yeah,
I'm not. One more? I think we have one. We maybe have one more here.
I think we got.
Man, I mean,
I'm throwing a blank a little bit. I think that's a solid 4 right there. Yeah. Solid 4. We got Rodon, Severino, Cole, and then Germán. I mean, that's not bad. And Germán won like almost 20 games that when he was on. I mean, he was like 20-2, and then he got, I think it was that suspension, and that cut him out for the rest of the year, and then the following year. And I'm like. I kept saying to my dad, where's Germán? Oh, he's suspended for some crazy stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I don't understand, like, what are your take on, like, these $1 million athletes, like basketball, football, baseball, UFC, hockey, all these crazy good sports, major sports. Why are these guys, like, getting in trouble? When you got millions of dollars to spend, 1. 2, you can literally, like, for example, Henry Ruggs III, you saw that thing in Vegas when he ran with a fast car and was going 130 miles around the curve, hit a car with a girl with a dog, both killed them both. Like, what are you doing in Vegas at 2 o'clock in the morning? Bro, you got Derek Carr, which is your quarterback. Bro, or you got a limo service and security service all day, every day. You just have to make a phone call. Yeah. If you're that drunk, come on, man. Right. Like, it's really now, for me, like, I'm sad that those two, like the dog and the girl died, but to be honest, I'm not sad for Henry Ruggs. He deserves it, dude. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. My thing is, what are your thoughts on to finish it up? We're gonna go a little back to like athletes wise. You've heard of John Morant, right? The Memphis Grizzlies star, starting point guard. Right. He's been dealing with like not breaking the law, but basically holding a firearm, like a pistol, on IG Live.
Right.
Not once, twice. It just happened this week.
Right.
Like, do you think we should be punishing a 23-year-old for not breaking the law, right? I saw this on First Take. JD Redick said this, but I'm gonna feed off of it a little bit. But like, 23-year-old, right? Basketball star, phenom, superstar, has a Nike shoe deal with Nike, multi-millionaire, right? He's got everything going for him. Okay, he's with the wrong crowd. Maybe his boys are from the thing. He was growing up a little, but he was growing up in a great place. He was from the suburbs. Like, it wasn't a bad place. So he's just the people he's around, and he's just showing, like, in the club, he showed the gun like this, and then at like a strip club, he showed the gun like this, and then he showed the gun like this in the car, in his I think it was his Rolls Royce or whatever. He was with his boys. His boy had it on IG Live, and then shut it down quick because oh wow, he just had a gun out. Damn, I gotta shut that down. So do you think that there should be like suspensions and crazy fines for him, or do you think that like we should be more focused on the people that are really killing everybody else in the United States, like all this gun stuff and whatever? Should we be punishing somebody like that that's really not breaking the law, hasn't did anything wrong technically, or should we do punish him, but then we're not doing nothing for the people that have been doing the mass shootings and killing all these people and the gun violence? So we're doing not politics wise, but we're tuning into like real life stuff and basketball and just in general all this stuff with going on with the leagues and stuff. What's your thoughts?
It's crazy.
on that?
I mean, it's not a good look, right? You know, regardless.
Obviously,
if it's not breaking law, it's still just not a good look. So
especially for the little kids around the world that like adore him.
You have
and
fans
look
who
up
look up
him.
to you as a role model. You know, that's not the greatest thing to do. And I don't know. You know, I don't have enough knowledge on that particular subject to really comment too much about it. But I think that, I mean, I probably wouldn't do that. You know, I don't know about the state, the laws in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like for me, it's like
tough, man.
I don't know.
I mean, I know the team, the organization might. I don't.
Oh
know
no, they suspended. Just to let you know that they suspended him from all activities. For the foreseeable future until something happens. So they're opening an investigation. The NBA is opening an investigation onto this. But technically, he didn't break the law. So I'm not defending him, and I'm not condoning him to do that. But again, we should be more focused on the people that are actually killing people, and not somebody that's trying to be a gang member and with the crib and whatever, it's like that, and trying to be cool. I don't think that's like, I don't think it's the right thing. Like you said, it's not a good look. But then again, I don't think it's really the right thing to just penalize him, fine him, take him like suspended for the whole year. I mean, that's a little much for me. Now, if he started shooting it up like Mikey Williams, like he's a phenom, 18-year-old, he's about to be committed to Memphis. I mean, he was accused of shooting at people that were leaving from his house. But then again, they said that they were basically forcing them way into his mansion. I mean, if anybody had a gun, I would be like, yo, get away. And then if they started doing something, we don't know the full story. But I would just say I wouldn't have used the gun. I would just call the police. Why not just call the police? Like, that's all you have to do. You're a multimillionaire. Why take that chance, right? You know what I mean? But thanks, Billy, for joining the podcast.
Appreciate it, bro.
This is the Fire Sports Pod. We are signing off today. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Get me on the next episode. See ya.